welcome back or welcome into my channel. My name is Ella and today I'm going to be creating my fall TBR through a TBR elimination game. It's going to be very fun. So let's just jump right into it. So how it's going to work is, as you can see, we have a wheel of names created and it has every book on here that I would like to choose from that's on my TBR. But I'm only looking for 10-ish books. And you can see some of these books have a parentheses and a 1. That means that book has 1 extra life because it's a book that I kind of would prefer to get to sooner. So if I land on a book with the 1, they're not going to be eliminated until that 1 goes away. If I land on a book that does not have an extra life, it's immediately eliminated. So that's how the elimination part of the game works. But I am going to flip-flop between one spin. The first spin will be a book that will move on to be on my TBR. And then the second spin will be an elimination spin. It will make sense once we get started. Basically, we'll spin to pick a book, spin to eliminate, spin to pick a book, spin to eliminate. And on the elimination spins, if it lands on a book with an extra life, no books are eliminated that round. So let's just jump into it. Okay, so we are going to spin for a pick starting right now. The Great Alone. Wow. Okay, our first book. So the first book that was picked was The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. This will be my first book from her. I've not read any of her other books, but I've heard super great things, as I'm sure many of you have. I think she primarily writes historical fiction, which is what this is as well. This book takes place in 1974 in Alaska, and it's following the Albright family. The father and man of the family, Ernst, is a Vietnam veteran who's having a hard time, and he moves his family up to Alaska, and the wife and daughter, Cora and Lenny, are going to have to deal with Ernst and his trauma, I guess. It sounds really good. It's very big. So this will probably be towards the end of fall when I get to this, but I am really going to try and get to this season. So now we're doing an elimination spin. So we're going to spin for a book to be completely eliminated. Here we go. Woo! Thank the Lord. Okay, so it landed on Dowry of Blood, but as you can see, Dowry of Blood has 1 extra life, so it's not going to be taken off the list, but I will remove its extra life. Okay, so now we're going to spin for a pick. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the next pick is The Haunting, and this one sounds sort of like Scream-ish. The main character is Penny, who has broken up with her boyfriend Nash because last Halloween his dad murdered someone and her parents don't want her hanging out with the son of a murderer. But this year someone else has been murdered and she suspects a copycat killer has returned. So this one sounds fun. It seems short and like a quick read. So I should hopefully get to this one very soon. Okay, we're spinning for an elimination now. So here we go. Oof, tough luck. House of Hunger has been eliminated, and that one did not have any extra lives, so it just gets removed from the list. Now we will spin again, but this time for a pick. So here we go. See what we get. Ooh, it was almost a very great one, but okay. The next pick is Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Cesare. This one sounds like another YA thriller-y one. There is an abandoned factory that was burned down in a party and someone's daughter died in said fire, and the town has been in disarray since this factory was shut down a long time ago. And it's like a generational thing. It seems like the kids are all doing one thing and the adults think it's the kids' fault that the town has gone to shit. And then a mysterious clown shows up and is gonna take revenge or murder some people, it sounds like. So we'll see. I haven't really heard a whole lot about this. I mean, I know people have read it and seem to like it, but I don't know exactly what it's about, and the summary is not like super descriptive. So there's that. Hopefully I get through this one quick as well. It's kind of short, YAE. So we are back to an elimination spin. So let's spin for an elimination. Let's see what we get. Oof, that is tough luck. So Diary of Blood had an extra life, but it's already lost the spinning once, and now it has no extra lives, and it's just being removed from the list. See if I can maybe still get to it, but it's not going to be on the official list, unfortunately. So now let's spin for a pick. So far, I've gotten good ones, but not ones that were like at the top of my heart of what I wanted. Let's see. Okay, Starling House is the winner for the pick, so let's get that one out. Okay, so the pick this time is Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. This is like a gothic one. It follows main character Opal, who is an orphan and the primary caretaker of her brother. They live in a small town in Kentucky, but she's trying everything she can to get them out of this town. The town is only known for two things: bad luck and E. Starling, who was a writer forever ago. And he or she, I don't know, owned a house, the Starling House, but everyone in town is afraid of it, I guess. They think it's haunted. There is an heir to the house named Arthur, so probably a romantic interest if I had to guess. But Opal somehow is going to end up in Starling House to try and make extra money to get her and her brother out of this shitty little town. And ghosts, ghouls, goblins, probably ghosts if I had to pick. I've heard great things about this one. It's in Reese's book club. I don't know. It looks fun. I've been wanting to get to this one for a while. So there we go. So we are back to an elimination spin. So let's get to it. What's it going to be? Ooh, so close. Ooh, it landed on Court of the Vampire Queen, which means that book is eliminated, which is unfortunate. I've had it for a year, but it's very long. It's like almost 500 pages long, and it sounds interesting, and I'll probably really like it when I get to it, but I might have to get to it like in late November if I get to it this year, or December. I just have too many books I need to get to in October, and that one is very, very long, so kind of a good thing it was eliminated. Okay, now we are back to a pick spin, so here we go. Let's spin for that and see what we get. Ooh, okay. This is a good pick. I was excited to hopefully get this one. So the next pick is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. The main character, Naomi, gets a letter from her cousin who has been recently married to some man, and this cousin has written to Naomi to tell her that she needs to escape or be taken away from this family manor because it's frightening. That's all I know about it, really. It's like a gothic Mexican tale, as the title would suggest. I do know that it has this adorable, look at this. Low-key, this should have been the cover, but alas, I'm very excited for this one. A lot of people really, really like this one, and it's not super duper long either, so I'm hoping to get to this one very soon. So far, that makes 5 books on our TBR, which you can see like behind me up there. I'm just gonna spin, like, we're gonna play the game until I'm out of books on the list, either eliminated or to the TBR. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to read all of these books, or that ones that were eliminated won't sneak in there, but that's how we're gonna play it. So we're gonna play it till we're out of books. Okay, and up next is an elimination spin. So let's spin for an elimination and see what happens. Oof, thank goodness. Okay. It landed on Boys in the Valley, but Boys in the Valley does have 1 extra life, so it will not be removed, but I will take off its extra life. And we're going to spin for a pick. Since nothing was eliminated, we're going to move on. Oh, okay. Our pick is Silent Patient. Okay, the next pick is The Silent Patient by Alex, I don't know how to say his last name. I've read another book by him, The Maidens, and I didn't really like it. But I've had this book for probably close to 2 years now. I got it close to the beginning of like interacting with the BookTube book talk community, and I saw it everywhere. It sounds good, and I do want to get to it eventually So even if I don't like it, like the maidens, I can unhaul it and get it off my shelves. But still seem to like it. About this woman, I think her name is Alice. What's her name? Alicia. Very successful, rich lady married to a very successful, rich husband. One day her husband comes home and she shoots him 5 times in the face and never speaks again. And I guess the book is going to be about her and this psychotherapist, Theo, who's going to try and figure out what happened, why she went crazy and shot her husband, since she hasn't spoken since. It's an interesting premise. I just gotta see if he's gonna pull the twist off, because I felt like the twist in the maidens is what ruined the whole thing. Fingers crossed that this one is better than that one. We are back to spinning for an elimination. So here we go. Okay. Spinning for an elimination. Let's see. Ooh. Oh. Okay, another one saved by an extra life. It was going to be the only one left, but that one has an extra life. So we'll just update that. And we will spin for a pick. Another turn with no eliminations. Crece. So crece. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. The pick is Phantom of the Opera. So the pick is Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know anything about this, and that's kind of the way I wanted it to be. I've never gotten any spoilers for the Phantom of the Opera throughout all of my life, and I ain't gonna start now. There's no summary anyway, because this is like a Barnes & Noble fancy edition. It has this cute little, these end pages, very cute, and a little cloth bookmark. And the cover is, of course, quite lovely. So I've been wanting to read this ever since I got it like almost 2 years ago. And it's really short. So glad it's on the list. We're back doing another elimination. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, dang. The only one left has been eliminated. It has no more extra lives. It is being removed from the list. Rest in peace. I really wanted to get to that one. We shall see if it sneaks in, but has been officially eliminated. Now we're going to spin for another pick. We're getting down to the wire here. These are all ones that I'm very interested in and kind of feel like I have to read this season. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's our pick. Okay, so the next pick is The Last Tale of the Flower Bride by Roshani Chokshi. This is another like gothic one about this couple who gets married, and she asks her groom to never pry into her past, and they're so in love. At a certain point, her estranged aunt is sick, and the couple are forced to return to the childhood home of the House of Dreams. The groom will soon start seeing ghosts of another girl named Azure, who was the bride Indigo's dearest childhood friend, who suddenly disappeared. As the house slowly reveals his wife's secrets, the groom will be forced to choose between reality and fantasy, even if doing so threatens his marriage or his life. So this one sounds good. Another like gothic tale, and also quite short. Has really great reviews. I have been wanting to get to this one, so there we go. We're back for another elimination spin, so let's spin for that. It's getting really close to the wire. These are all ones that I wanted to absolutely read, so Frankenstein has been... Oh wait, no, it has an extra life. Excuse me. I don't know how my own game works. It's safe this time, but we are getting down to the wire. Let's go ahead and spin for a pick. What's it gonna be? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, it was almost Frankenstein, but it didn't quite make it. All right, this is our pick. Okay, the pick is Belladonna by Adeline Grace. I'm sure you have heard of Belladonna by now. It's got 3 books in the series at this point. They just keep coming out. But I am so excited for this one. I'm so glad it got picked. This is following Signa, whose entire family has been sort of murdered. I don't know. It gives me series of unfortunate events vibes, like everyone she knows meets an unfortunate end. Then she's placed with guardians who are related to her, called the Hawthorns. They're an eccentric family whose mom has died, and the patriarch is very sad, and the daughter has an illness, and the son is trying to control the family. But then they're in danger because the ghost of the mother returns and says she's been poisoned, and that's how she died. And Signa realizes that this family of guardians who she is growing to like is in danger, and she needs to do what she can to protect them. And to do that, she teams up with a stable boy, but I don't know if that is who Death is, because that is kind of the premise of the story based on what I've heard, is her and Death are going to work together to try and figure out what's happened, and there's going to be a budding romance. So like gothic romance vibes, I guess. But very excited. It's quite long. It's about 350-ish pages, close to it, but I'm very excited. We are back to an elimination spin now, so let's spin for an elimination. Only one book left has an extra life. No! Frankenstein has been eliminated! This one I'm definitely going to have to read anyway. So it's not going to be on the list, but it is going to be on the list. Because last year I read Dracula during October. Absolutely loved it. So now I feel like I have to read Frankenstein. But not going to be on the official list. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Now we're spinning for a pick. Let's see what we get. These are both great choices. That it's just unfortunate that the next spin is an elimination automatically. Okay, we have our answer. So we know that this is the book that was picked, and I'll tell you about it in just a second. But because Boys in the Valley was not picked, automatically it has been eliminated, because that was going to be the last elimination spin anyway. So farewell to Boys in the Valley, even though I'm probably still going to read that one. So the final pick is House of Roots and Ruin by Erin Craig. And I'm so happy that this one got picked, because it was kind of going to be one of my must reads anyway. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you much about it because it's a sequel, and if I told you about it, that would be spoilers for the first book. But you should certainly read the first book, which is called House of Salt and Sorrows, which is a gothic retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses. And it's 5 stars, one of my favorite books I've read so far this year. And as soon as I finished it, I had to order the sequel immediately, which is this. And I'm obsessed with this world and these books. So you should definitely check out House of Salt and Sorrow, and then once you read that, you can read this one at the same time I am. I'm so excited for this one because, like I said, the first book, 5 stars. I'm predicting this will be 5 stars. Okay, so the completed total TBR for the fall season, which to me is going to be from now to like mid-November, like right before Thanksgiving, maybe slightly after, is House of Roots and Ruin, Belladonna, Mexican Gothic, Clown in a Cornfield, The Haunting, The Great Alone, The Last Tale of the Flower Bride, Phantom of the Opera, The Silent Patient, and finally, Starling House. I think that's a total of 10 books, roundabout. That will be plenty to get me through 2 months, and I will be lucky to read all of those. But in the future, I'm planning maybe some like 12 to 24-hour readathons. Probably won't do a 24-hour readathon. But I could do a 12-hour readathon and maybe try and knock some of these shorter books out back to back. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And leave me a comment of some of your books on your fall TBR. Do we have any overlapping? Do I have any that were eliminated that should not have been eliminated? And yeah, happy reading, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!